This mural came to be from direct invitation from Christian Ramirez. There was the director of the American Friends Service Committee at that time. We're dedicating it to Anastasio. He has passed away, has been murdered by these immigration agents.
The way that this mural was designed was with two components in mind, a healing side and more of a destructive side. So this side is the healing side, and there are more cool blue tones. There's teals and greens, very much representative of the earth.
We call this the water pillar, and that one is the fire pillar. You know, we view water, I think, traditionally as cleansing, as healing, and that energy of that flow of water serves that purpose on this mural.
We have at the bottom, anchoring the healing side, is a healing circle of women, and they're burning copal. So traditionally, copal is used in pre-Columbian ceremonies because that is what our ancestors are attracted to.
This piece has to do with what precipitated the actual beating of Anastasio Hernandez Rojas. When he was apprehended, my understanding is that he was told to drop the water bottle. And with his limited English, he thought they meant to empty the water bottle and began to empty it. The border agents used that as an excuse, viewing it as some sort of resisting arrest or something, and began to beat him at that point. He was subsequently handcuffed and on the ground when they began to kick him and tase him, and he was sent to the hospital. 2 days later, he died of his wounds, of his beating. We start with this bottle of water merging with the Rio Bravo or Rio Grande. That leads you to another very tragic scene, which is the scene of the father and daughter who drowned in the Rio Bravo a few months ago and were found there in the bushes.
The image of the father and the little girl that drowned, that was some image that popped up when we were in class last summer. And we really battled very hard with that image because it was so graphic and it was so powerful, and we would cry and we would argue like, no, we won't want it on there. No, we don't think it's too painful. And we finally decided to put it in there. It's so powerful to me that they're face down, because it could be any ethnic group. You can't tell who they are. And to me, you can put anybody there. You can put anybody's face there, because it's happened so much.
This side represents more of the struggle. It also represents death. We have images of children who have been killed in Border Patrol custody, as well as images of hands that have been zip-tied together as someone who's been in Border Patrol custody or police custody. At the very top of the pillar, two things you'll see is, one, you'll see the scene captured on camera of Anastasio's beating, the tasering, and then what led to his death. But you also see images of children up there and a sign that reads, Futuro sin miedo, future without fear. So just as fire kind of consumes things, destroys things, it also leads to what we have on the other side, which is growth from struggle and growth from death.
The piece that is behind us here is the oldest son of Maria and Anastasio. His name is Fabian. Fabian, since his father was murdered, has not been able to leave his house. And so the only time he leaves is when he's accompanied by his mother. For us, like being out here and doing this joyously, I had to always remember this is not happiness for them. This is their tragedy. and it's in display like to the whole world what happened to them. So always being very respectful about how we address Maria, asking her permission, taking her into account anytime there was something that needed to be said was like, for me, that was huge, huge for me, to make sure that she was blessing what was happening here. To me, I wanted to do something that was healing for her and for her children. I believe that everybody that's here was called for a specific reason.
One of the things we wanted to make sure to make very prominent in this mural was not only the harsh, tragic scenes, but how do we heal from that?
Art has a healing element to it. You talk about the idea of catharsis. As we get up to the top and we finally worked in the scene of Anastasio's death, it's really taken a lot of digestive work, emotional digestion of the story, how we want to portray it so that the history and the context is not lost. The 12 officers tased, beat, kicked, stripped him of his clothes, and others just stood by and watched and let it happen. But as artists, we also wanted to provide this for the family as a place, as an altar, a memorial. And I think we've really come to it the right way in handling it with sensitivity and showing the truth, but also letting the dignity of Anastasio really shine as it does with his portrait in the center.
He represents a light to help us understand this issue as it continues to happen, because there's still people being killed on a regular basis, raped, children in cages, still there. All of these issues are still going on.
I believe we're part of a global community. I believe in working without borders, building bridges. This act of rebellion, this act of struggle, of crossing the border, it speaks to more of a joint human struggle that I think speaks across borders, at least I hope so.
We need to work harder. We need to stand with our brothers and sisters, remember where we came from, because we can't continue doing this to people anymore. It's destroyed all of their lives, all of them.